Today, we're peeling back the curtain on a topic that many accept without question: tithing. What if the truth you've never been told could change not just how you give, but how you live and thrive? Let's explore the realities that have been hidden from you. When we talk about tithing, most people think it's simply about giving a fixed percentage of their income to a religious institution. And that's where the conversation usually ends. But what if I told you there is a deeper story, one that's rarely shared openly? What if this practice, often presented as a divine mandate, is actually clouded with misconceptions that affect your financial freedom, your personal growth, and your true purpose? Tithing, in many circles, has become more than just a giving practice. It has become a system that benefits some more than others. When you hand over a set portion of your hard-earned money, are you truly empowered? Or are you unknowingly supporting a cycle that limits your ability to grow, to invest in your dreams, and to create generational wealth? Think about it. Are you giving out of conviction, or are you giving because you've been told to? Have you ever questioned what happens to that money or how it's being used? The truth is, without transparency, without understanding the flow of your resources, you're operating in the dark, and operating in the dark rarely leads to freedom. Now imagine if you could take control, not just of your giving, but of your entire financial destiny. What would that look like? How different would your life be if your giving was intentional, strategic, and aligned with your personal vision? But before we go there, we need to ask a tougher question. Is tithing really about your growth? Or is it about maintaining a structure that doesn't want to change? That's what we're going to explore next, because the real question isn't about how much you give, but what your giving is truly accomplishing. Stay with me. The next revelation might just change everything you thought you knew about giving. Giving, when done with knowledge and purpose, can be a powerful act of transformation, but giving without understanding, that's where many get stuck, caught in a cycle that slowly drains more than just their finances. Have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when you give blindly, without clarity on where your resources are going, or why? When people give without insight, they often sacrifice their own progress, unknowingly limiting their potential for growth and success. It's like pouring water into a cup full of cracks. No matter how much you pour, the cup never fills. You may feel the weight of responsibility to give, but does it actually uplift you? Does it help you build the life you desire, or is it just a routine that leaves you with less and less? What if the system you trust the most is designed to keep you dependent rather than independent? What if your giving is creating a cycle where you're constantly needing to give more just to maintain the status quo? This isn't about guilt or blame, it's about awareness. Awareness that opens doors to freedom, not chains. Understanding the consequences means asking the right questions. Are you investing in your future, or are you fueling a machine that thrives on your repeated contributions? Are you growing personally, financially, emotionally, or is your giving a one-way street that leads nowhere? The truth is, without clarity, giving becomes a burden rather than a blessing. And that's why so many people feel stuck, even when they give faithfully. But what does it take to break free? How do you move from giving blindly to giving with intention, power, and real impact? That's the next step in this journey, and it's where your transformation truly begins. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about giving. The next revelation will open your eyes to a new way of thinking. Many people give because they believe it's a path to blessing, a ticket to favor. But what if that path is actually a loop that keeps you running in place instead of moving forward? Think about empowerment for a moment. To be empowered means to have control, to have the freedom to make choices that serve your best life. It means owning your resources, your time, your energy, and directing them with purpose. So when you give a fixed portion of your income regularly, are you exercising control, or are you surrendering control, trusting that the system will handle your future? You might be surprised to realize that sometimes consistent giving without full awareness can be a form of bondage, a bondage disguised as faithfulness. When your resources are consistently funneled away, without clear understanding of the return or impact, your ability to invest in your own dreams shrinks. Your financial potential shrinks. Your ability to build generational wealth shrinks. But there's a deeper question here. What if empowerment isn't about giving more, but about giving smarter? What if true freedom comes from understanding the flow of your resources and making decisions that align with your vision and purpose? Before you decide, consider this. Are you breaking chains or are you tightening them? This is the moment to rethink your relationship with giving. Up next, we'll uncover the financial realities that most people never hear about, because knowing where your money really goes could change everything. Stay close, because what comes next might just redefine your future. Let me ask you something. Have you ever paused to really think about where your money goes after you give it? You're told to give faithfully, to tithe regularly, but rarely, if ever, are you shown the financial picture behind the scenes. What if there's a trap hidden in this process? A trap that slowly drains your resources without you even realizing it. When you give blindly, without understanding the financial flow, your money might be feeding a system designed more for survival than for growth. Think about that. Does the system you support invest in innovation, in empowerment, in helping you build your own legacy? Or does it recycle your contributions just to maintain existing structures and pay bills? This isn't a message meant to discourage giving, it's a call for awareness. When the finances are managed without transparency, you lose the chance to see how your giving could work harder for you. Instead of creating abundance, your giving might be creating scarcity in your own life. Ask yourself this: are you part of a cycle that expects more and more from you, but gives little back? Are your contributions creating a momentum that moves you forward, or one that keeps you tied to the same financial struggles? Understanding this financial reality is key to breaking free from the cycle. Once you know the truth about where your money goes, you can start asking the important questions. Questions that lead to real change. Next, we'll explore how your generosity might be feeding a system rather than fueling your own vision and dreams. Stay with me, because this next insight is about to challenge everything you thought about giving. But here's a question that many don't ask. Is your generosity truly feeding a vision, or just fueling a system? A system that operates on routine, on maintaining itself, rather than breaking new ground or creating lasting impact. When you give, do you see where your money is going? Do you see how it's being used? Or do you simply follow the instruction, hoping it makes a difference? Because the truth is, many systems are built to survive, not to innovate. They keep moving, but they don't necessarily move forward. Imagine this: your hard-earned resources pouring into an institution that may not be using them to create opportunities, to empower individuals, or to build futures. Instead, they're used to cover overheads, salaries, and expenses that maintain the status quo. If that's the case, are you really part of a breakthrough, or just supporting the wheels turning in place? True generosity is about investment. It's about putting your resources where they will grow, multiply, and create transformation. It's about aligning your giving with a clear vision that ignites change. But if your generosity fuels a system that operates for its own survival, what does that mean for your growth? Are you empowering a vision that elevates you, your community, your future? Or are you caught in a cycle where your giving feeds maintenance, not momentum? Next, we'll uncover how to break free from that cycle, reclaim your financial power, and start building a legacy that lasts beyond the next donation. Get ready, because what comes next could be the turning point you've been waiting for. What if I told you that your giving doesn't have to be a chain, but a key to unlocking your true wealth and purpose? Breaking free starts with understanding that your resources belong to you first. They're not just funds to be handed over automatically. They're tools for your growth, your dreams, your legacy. Too many people give without a strategy, without a vision, and end up stuck feeling like their generosity is draining them instead of empowering them. But real freedom comes when you take control, when you become intentional about where your money flows and what it fuels. It's about shifting from being a giver caught in a cycle to a leader who invests wisely, who builds wealth with purpose. Imagine this: what if every dollar you gave was not just a donation, but an investment in your future, in your skills, in your community. When you reclaim your wealth, you're also reclaiming your purpose. You're stepping into a role of leadership, of influence, of vision. This journey isn't easy. It requires courage to question old habits, to challenge systems that have held you captive. But the reward, a life where your resources work for you, where your giving creates growth, and where your purpose unfolds in powerful ways. So what does it take to break the cycle completely? To not just give, but to give with impact, with clarity, with intention. That's what we'll explore next, because understanding the true cost of blind faith in giving will set the foundation for your breakthrough. Stay with me. This next truth will change how you see generosity forever. Blind faith, giving without understanding, without questioning, without clarity, sounds noble, doesn't it? But what is the true cost of this kind of faith? When you hand over your resources without knowing the impact, without seeing the results, what are you really paying? Many have been taught to give first and worry later, to trust that everything will work out because that's what they were told. But faith without insight can lead to unintended consequences, consequences that affect your financial health, your personal growth, and your ability to build a future. Think about it. When you give blindly, you risk depleting your own resources, leaving yourself vulnerable and unprepared for the opportunities and challenges ahead. You may think you're planting seeds, but if those seeds aren't nurtured, if you don't know where they're going, how can you expect a harvest? Blind faith can also keep you stuck in a cycle, giving more and more yet never seeing real change in your life. It's like running on a treadmill, expending energy, but going nowhere. And that's the true cost: your time, your energy, your potential wasted. But faith, when combined with knowledge, with understanding, becomes powerful. It becomes a force for transformation, not just for others, but for you. So the question is, are you willing to move from blind faith to informed faith, to take control of your giving and align it with your goals and vision? Up next, we'll explore how to transform your giving into true prosperity, giving that empowers you and creates lasting impact beyond what you've ever imagined. Keep listening, because this next step is where everything changes. What if your giving could do more than just fulfill a routine? What if it could be the very thing that unlocks true prosperity, not just for others, but for you? True prosperity isn't about how much you give blindly. It's about how wisely and intentionally you give. It's about aligning your resources with a vision that multiplies, that grows, that creates real impact. When you transform your giving from obligation to opportunity, you step into a new level of freedom. You become a leader of your own finances, a steward of your own destiny. This kind of giving is strategic. It's thoughtful, purposeful, and driven by clear goals. It's not about sacrifice without return. It's about investment with exponential reward. Think about it. Prosperity is not scarcity. It's not struggling to make ends meet after giving your last dollar. Prosperity is abundance. It's flow. It's the ability to give generously while still building wealth, creating opportunities, and securing your future. This transformation starts with you, your mindset, your knowledge, your willingness to question old habits and embrace a new way of thinking. Giving becomes a source of power, not depletion. It fuels your growth, your family's legacy, your community's advancement. Now is the time to break free from outdated patterns, to reclaim your wealth, your purpose, and your freedom, to give with intention, with clarity, and with vision. The truth you've been waiting for is right in front of you. It's not just about giving more, it's about giving better. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Your new beginning starts today, with the choices you make next. Choose wisely, give intentionally, and watch your life transform beyond anything you've imagined.